Our guest, Professor Liu Zhiqin, a senior fellow at the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University of China. Great to have you here again on the show, Professor Liu. So China has banned all the seafood imports from Japan. How much will Japan's discharge of contaminated water into the sea affect the economy of Chinese and Japanese seafood traders?
I think this action taken by the Japanese government to discharge this contaminated water into the ocean will heavily affect the economic relations between China and Japan. I think in major three aspects that these activities will influence all this field. For instance, the first is the supermarket, because in China we have so many supermarkets. We have sell all the products, aquatic products from Japan. This the major part could be affected. And the second, as we mentioned here from the news, that Japanese restaurants in China will be heavily affected, and because they have to change the other supply chain. And the third, we can see that all the traders for aquatic products, especially from Japanese market, will be also heavily influenced. So all these three factors were mainly influenced by this action also taken by the Japanese government. But in long run, I think this effect or negative effect is only a temporary and also in short term. And I believe that in 1 or 2 years that the things and the conditions could be changed with the international cooperation and the supervision. Of course, we see that this effect could be limited under control because of this. All countries will take necessary measures to have cooperation to minimize the negative impact from the contaminated water.
Well, neighboring countries' salt demand soars ahead of Japan's radioactive wastewater discharge. What do you make of that?
That's quite an interesting scenario in the market, because many people believe that some rumors that the salt will be also contaminated sooner or later, so they have to stock up this salt at home. So my neighbors also told me that they have also bought some kilos to stay at home. But I think this is not necessary, because as we know that from China's market, our national organization and the factory in charge of the salt industry really has confirmed the safety and the supply in this product, especially this is mainly from the rock salt, not from other sea salt. Sea salt is so minimized in China. Even from the sea salt, I think when the contaminated water that flow into the Chinese seabed that became a salt that will last longer time, several decades, that could become the salt. So at the moment, I don't think it's not necessary. Of course, within the international cooperation, and we find the solutions and the supervision scientifically, and also we have coordination with all countries related, because as we know, Pacific Ocean is so great, so many countries closely linked together, and we can exchange our technical exchanges and information exchanges to tell what could be supervised, what could be happening. So I think this problem could be solved in a very soft way. So I don't think there's no reason to worry about salt supply and salt safety.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights, Professor Liu Zhiqin, a senior fellow at the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at